kind of thankful that power lines keep development away. Where are we? Back in Southwest Florida, Fort Myers, just east of I-75. Today at the 6 Mile Cypress Preserve North, not to be confused with 6 Mile Cypress, the very well-known preserve south of this location. The north side doesn't get that many visitors, but it's very important because it contains the headwaters of the slough. They are separated by State Road 82, but culverts under the road allow the flow of water. This preserve was bought between 1999 and 2011, mostly using funds from Conservation 2020, a program from when Lee County residents voted to raise sales tax to fund purchasing and protection of environmentally sensitive lands. A point of interest in this preserve is the remains of the right-of-way for the train that connected Fort Myers with Buckingham Army Airfield during World War II. During the rainy season, this sandy spot is usually covered with up to 8 or 10 inches of standing water because the berm for the train tracks acts as a water barrier. We will come back here later. Still heading south, we see the first Cypress, telling us the terrain gets flooded seasonally. We are walking along the edge of the property. Watch out for the not-so-friendly dogs that think the preserve is their backyard, and the random chicken that ignores the poorly maintained fence. We are about to turn west following the edge of the property, and we find out another man-made structure, part of an old road. Also another obstacle for the natural flow of water. Turning south and coming down from the berm. It's an unusually windy day. This section is usually very wet from May to December, but not this year. Video was filmed in early June and the place is still mostly dry. Some of the markers are gone and this could become confusing, like this that looks like a turn, but it's not actually a turn. The place looks totally different, just a mile away from the beginning. Here we got an odd fence in the middle of the property and doesn't look that old. And just half a mile away from here, the newest neighbor, the largest Amazon facility in Southwest Florida, also the largest standalone building in the region. We will come back later to this abandoned road. First signs of slightly wet terrain. We are close to the southern edge of the preserve, and we get to see a cypress dome, a small forested wetland dominated by cypress. Talking about the neighboring lots, Amazon paid $66 million for 143 acres. Another lot was sold for $30 million to build an apartment complex. Sadly, there is no way Conservation 2020 can compete with that kind of money. On the wet sections, we see a lot of these freshwater snails. We are taking a small detour from the yellow trail to follow the abandoned road. Across the FPL power lines, we can see the Lee County Solid Waste Facility. Back on the yellow trail, heading north. Backtracking at the segment that runs along some farms. And we are now walking on the old train tracks for the spur that connected Fort Myers with Buckingham Army Airfield. A common problem, water flow disrupted by the berm built for the trucks. Some drainage work has been done to help restore water natural flow. We're crossing under the FPL lines. These high tension lines come from the FPL generating plant in the Caloosahatchee River, the second largest in Florida, and they run all the way down to Naples and Marco. We're still on the abandoned train tracks. In the early 40s, Thousands of service members went this way to receive aerial gunnery training on B-17s and B-24s at Buckingham. This is the eastern edge of the property, and we are now turning north. Tall grass, pines, and some palmetto dominate the landscape here. The always curious cows watching a human. A weird point on the red trail where the two stripes on the pole tell me to turn, but I can see the next pole just a few yards away. No need to turn. The last segment runs along a not so busy road that is the north edge of the preserve, Lockett Road. One last time crossing under the power lines. And back at the parking lot after almost 7 miles.